Want a soar? Get a mentor. Hey, it's Nina Carmichael, and we make these videos because you're probably the most ambitious person in your circle, but you know you're capable of more. And you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, the 5 things that you need to do right now if you want to attract success. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Set bigger goals.
You need to set a goal so big that you'll never achieve it. Set a goal that you will never accomplish, that's never going to happen, and you wake up every day trying to make it happen. That's called a mission. And it's way more important than setting short-term goals for yourself. I got inspired by Ted Turner. If you know Ted Turner, he's a billionaire entrepreneur, worth over $2 billion, mega philanthropist, donated over $1 billion to the United Nations and doing lots of work in the community. And he got inspired when his father killed himself. So his father was an entrepreneur. He wanted to become a millionaire, build $1 million business. And he did. He did it. His father hit his goal. He became a millionaire. And then he killed himself because he realized that life was basically just still the same. He thought somehow life was going to be different on the other side of hitting the goal, but he realized he woke up and he's still the same person. And so he killed himself. And Ted, seeing that, he was I think in his late teens or early 20s at the time, just decided, you know what, I'm going to set a goal for myself that's so big that I'm never going to accomplish it. It's never going to happen. And then you wake up every day trying to make that happen. I think it's really important. I think especially for achievers, you have set goals for yourself and you've hit them. And then it's this momentary little celebration, like I hit my goal. And then what do you feel? A lot of people feel depressed until you find out what's next. There's a great saying of beyond the mountain, there's more mountains. And I love it. Because the goal isn't just to climb one mountain. The goal is to keep climbing. You want to climb forever. The number one most common rule for success that I see over and over and over again is you have to love what you're doing. You have to like the process of doing what you're doing. The process, not just the result. The goal is the results, right? Hitting some goal, hitting a financial goal, hitting a customer goal, hitting a subscriber goal. It's just the results. You have to enjoy the actual work that you're doing. You have to enjoy the process. And the most successful people actually enjoy the work that they're doing. Yes, you have to make money in the process. Yes, you have to have an impact in the process, but you like the process. You like actually doing the work. When you want to grow, when you feel like you're on a mission, when you feel like the work you're going to wake up every day and do is important, that's when you actually start getting some crazy results at the same time. Where if you set your goal only just to hit some kind of results, you end up playing small for life and end up not liking your life because you felt it. You know what it feels like to hit a goal, to feel the excitement, and then the next day you wake up and you're still the same person. I think about when I hit my goals, when I hit my 1 million subscriber goal, and I got the gold plaque from YouTube. I didn't need to celebrate. I didn't want to celebrate because this is a celebration. Making this video for you is a celebration. Waking up and doing the work every day is the celebration. When I hit 2 million subscribers, my audience was asking, hey, what are you going to do? What are you going to do for 2? And it's funny because now we're coming up on 3 million on the main channel. And people are starting asking, what are you going to do when you hit 3? When I hit 2, I actually did a live stream as we crossed. But I did it more for you guys. I did more for the community because it's a journey together and you guys wanted to celebrate. So I did. We celebrated together. I did a live stream, Q&A as we crossed the subscriber goal. And then I actually felt guilty afterwards. I felt like, should I celebrate more? Is there something wrong with me for not celebrating? And so I remember I said, okay, I'm going to do this experiment. We crossed 2 million subscribers, great benchmark. I'm going to go and take half the day off. And we went to Tim Hortons, which is a local coffee shop here. And I got a donut. I got my favorite donut and celebrated with the donut. And then came back and I just felt, you know what? Nah, this is stupid. Let's go work. And I realized later, like, there's nothing wrong with me because this is a celebration. I get to make videos for you guys, sitting here in the car, just talking to the camera as we drive around doing errands, and knowing that people are watching this and it's having an impact and it's making a difference. At least that's the intention every time. That is a celebration. And I think it's actually healthier. I think when you can switch your celebration to the process of what you're doing every day, your celebration is what's in your calendar, instead of just arbitrarily hitting some goal that how often you actually get to celebrate. Like, you only get to celebrate your life once a year when you hit some goal. How about you celebrate your life every day from the work that you're doing?
Rule number 2, model success.
The fastest path for you to get the success you're after is to model success. The idea here is simple. You find people who have already done the thing that you want to do, learn from them, understand what they did to get there, and then try on their hat, right? See what worked for them and apply it to your business. This is what worked for me. This is what saved my company. Bill Gates saved my first company, even though I've never met him. I haven't yet. We're going to make it happen. Hopefully soon. I was struggling. I had a upstart software company that wasn't making money, and I quit on my business partner, and I woke up the next day and said, I need to find a way to make this happen. I can't quit on this too soon because I'm going to regret it if I don't keep going. And so I said, who has done this before? Who's done this? And I thought of Bill Gates. It was the first person that came to mind was Bill Gates. So I looked at his story and how did he build Microsoft? Well, it was through partnerships. And so I started making partnerships in my business. I had nothing else to lose. I was already at rock bottom, right? I had already quit on my partner. It was hopeless. So let's just give this a shot. And within, I don't know, a couple months, maybe even sooner, I landed my first partnership deal for $13,500. And at the time, guys, I was making $300 a month. So that money meant the world to me. Like, that was bank. And more important than that, it gave me hope, like this could happen. This business could actually work. And it gave me a model to then go and do it again and again and again. And ever since then, whenever I don't know what to do, I model success. I find someone who's done it and I try to apply their strategies and make it work for me. But this is the important thing. Not every strategy is going to work the same way for them as it did for you. So maybe waking up early is your ticket. Maybe waking up later is going to be your ticket. There's people who've done both. Which is the one that's going to work for you? You won't know by sitting on the couch and thinking about it. The best thing you can do is just go and try. You try on their hat, right? Bill Gates did this. Dan Lok does this. Bruce Lee does this. Awesome. Try it. Try it and see. People prejudge so early. You have to change your habits. If you want to get something more than you have right now, it's because you're doing something different than what you're doing right now. And different is scary. Different means you don't know if it's going to work out or not. Different is different. We don't want to do different, right? You want to stay inside our comfort zone. That's not where your success is going to come. But not everything you try is going to work. Even the ones that do work won't work 100%. The way that Bill Gates did partnerships in his business is different than the way that I did it. But just that idea alone took me 80% of the way. Modeling success takes you 80% of the way. And then that final 20% is you got to make the adjustments to make it your own. Because otherwise you just end up being a junior version of somebody else instead of being you. But I think we're too often just judging people. You're judging a strategy saying, well, that's not going to work for me without even trying it.
Also, if you want to have more self-confidence and self-belief, I've created a special free program called 254 because the science says that it takes up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a habit. So what I'm going to do is send you an unlisted video to your email every day for 254 days for free to help your confidence and self-belief shift forward. The link to join is in the description below.
So I highly recommend that you print off 20 to 30 copies of your book before it goes to final print and just get feedback from people who are inside your target market and outside just to get tips, suggestions.
And what you need to do is inoculate yourself against the judgment and learn to take action on your ideas, because the alternative is a life filled with regret.
Surround yourself with greatness. If you want to be more confident, you need to surround yourself with things that make you feel confident.
Rule number 3, invest in what you understand.
Most people lose money in investments because you don't know what you're doing. I mean, that's at the end of the day, the biggest reason why people lose money is because you don't know what you're doing. When I first got started in investing, I was in my teens and a friend of mine suggested buying this stock. He was a little bit older. He he was a super smart guy, and he suggested I buy the stock. And I did. And I put, I don't know, $2,000 or something in it, which was basically all the money I had, right? I mean, I remember if anything was over $500 as a trade, like, you know, I'm sweating and I'm breathing hard. But I tried to make it around that because the commission fees on everything was so high. So I put $2,000 into this trade, and I ended up doubling my money. And I thought, oh my God, look how quickly you can make money, right? I mean, you put money into the stock, and within 6 months or something, I doubled my money. Like, oh my God, I can make so much money. If I double it again, that becomes 4, that becomes 8, that becomes 16, that becomes 32, that becomes 64. All of a sudden, I'm on the path to being a millionaire. Right? It's funny how our mind likes to trick us like that. So I thought my friend was a genius. I'm making all this money. I'm going to be able to retire so early. This is amazing. So then he picked another stock for me. He's like, hey, what company you get into next? Tell me. And he gave me another stock that he was buying. So I'd be like, let's go. I'm going to buy that one. And that one did not do well. And I did not lose all my money, but I lost a good chunk of my money. And then I realized, oh, okay, maybe this is a little more complicated than I thought it was. And I think all of us have to go through that phase at some point. Have to go through the phase of the hot opportunity, the hot stock tip, the hot, you know, somebody around us gets so excited, so we try. Like, how many of you have invested into something because somebody around you got so excited by it, and so you said yes? But the problem was you didn't know anything about the company. You didn't really know anything about the opportunity. You're just going off the vibe of your friend who said it was a good deal, right? Like, how many? I think everybody's gone through that in some way. Thankfully, I learned my lesson when I was super young and didn't have a lot of money to blow. But some people, it's take out a second mortgage on your home and invest your life savings into this new startup that's going to blow up, right? I mean, some people, you end up losing a ton of money betting on the wrong thing. And how do you bet on the wrong thing? Because you don't know what you're doing. Because you're trusting somebody else's opinion instead of yours. Because yours is educated, right? It should be. You need to learn how to manage and invest your money. You need to. It's part of a life skill as an adult, right? As a human, to be able to learn that for yourself and then pass it on to your kids and the people around you. So, a couple rules that can help you. Number one, right? Don't start putting money into things that you don't understand. If you can't explain it, if you don't understand the company, you don't understand what you're buying into, don't buy it. This is why I don't buy cryptocurrency. I don't buy real estate. People ask me about I don't like real estate. I don't like it. I know it's a massive path to wealth. My friends like Grant Cardone and a bunch of other people are like hardcore in the real estate. Great, I love it. It can definitely work. I'm not down on the idea. I don't like it. I don't want to learn it. It's not interesting for me. So I'd rather invest my money elsewhere. Same thing for cryptocurrency. I don't understand it. I get the concept, but I don't know which one's going to win. I'm not invested enough into it. I haven't learned. Could I? Yes. Am I interested? No. So this is a challenge. Like, if you're just going off and buying Bitcoin because it's hot, you're going to lose a ton of money. Like, you might get lucky and win, but you're basically just playing the lottery. You have to educate yourself. Now, if you're an expert on cryptocurrency, could you make tons of money? Absolutely. Just like if you become the expert on anything, you can make tons of money. If you become the expert on real estate, you can make tons of money. But you have to be dedicated to becoming the expert on it. If you're just thinking that I can passively invest into something or just put all my money in some hot opportunity, you're going to lose. So one, you have to understand what you're getting into. Two, I would say if you don't want to learn it, if you don't want to go off and be the expert on the thing because you care about something else that you're working on, then find a low risk option. So for example, with mutual funds, most mutual funds don't beat the stock market on average. Most mutual funds underperform compared to the stock market. If you look at how the stock market goes and you see the mutual funds, even if they've slightly beat it, you end up losing because you're paying a high management fee. There's professionals who are running that fund who make money. Even if they've lost money, they're still taking their cut. And overall, if you look at what the stock market has done, and then you look at the mutual fund, you'll see the mutual funds always underperform the stock market on average. There's very, very few that actually consistently beat it. Very few. So what should you do? If you don't know how to invest, don't go buy some mutual fund where the bank who's selling it to you is taking a commission for selling it, plus the funds are taking their management fee regardless of if you're making money or not. You just buy the index. You buy an index fund where you're not paying a lot of commission, and you're off and running. You keep investing in the fund. As the stock market goes up, you keep making money. You don't have to know what you're doing. You're not trying to time the stock market. You're not trying to say, ooh, what's going to happen in the next 3 months? Don't try to be the prognosticator if that's not your business. If that's what you love and you're going to dive in and commit to being the expert, great. You could make a lot more money in stocks if you did not buy the index fund and know what you're doing. But if you'd rather be over here doing something else and you still want to make money, you buy the index fund. And you put aside your money and you buy the index fund, and it'll continue to grow for you, right? So that's an easy path to be able to make money, to save money, to build your wealth without having to be the expert. And the third thing I would say is, I think at the beginning, and this goes against what a lot of financial advice would say, but I think at the beginning, as an entrepreneur, the best investment you can make is in yourself. The best investment you can make is in your business. The best investment you can make is into growing you. People talk about getting started early and put the money aside and the compound effect, which is true. You know, the earlier you start compounding, the more money you're going to be able to make over the long run. But I think self-education, self-improvement, and entrepreneurship is compounding more than putting that $1,000 into an investment. If I think about the early years of my business, and I had $1,000, if I had a plan and knew what to do with it in my company, I'd make more by investing into myself, that $1,000, and put it into the market. I just would. At some point, as you start to grow, and you may not be sure what to do with the money, then you invest it back in. I'm at where I'm at now, not because of the investing into the stock market, but because of all the investment made into myself, into learning, into growing, into traveling, into workshops, into seminars, into coaching, the investments that I made in myself. It's a much higher return. But when you start throwing off excess cash, you bring that back and you invest it. Like, don't start taking risky gambles in the business. You invest it. And again, if you don't know what to do with it, you put it in a low-fee index fund that just tracks the market. Right now, personally, I've got half of my money in an index fund that tracks the Canadian stock market, and then half of my money split between Facebook and Amazon. And that's my portfolio at the moment. Now, don't go do that just because Evan Carmichael said, go buy Facebook and Amazon, right? Like, that may not be, that is not the right strategy for you, right? If you're going to go pick stocks, you have to know what you're doing. You have to have a background in it.
Rule number 4, maintain positive energy.
Your energy dictates your results. Think about it. When you have felt positive, motivated, energized, ready to go, courageous, bold, you show up differently, right? You show up differently than when you're feeling depressed, that it's not going to work out, the negative self-talk, someone like you can't do it, you're not getting any momentum, you're not getting the results. Like, think about your own mental state when you are trying to accomplish a goal, and the difference between when you have positive energy versus negative energy. It has nothing to do with your skills. It has nothing to do with your potential. It has everything to do with how you're feeling right now, right? It's why I say that lack of belief is the world's #1 problem. You don't believe in yourself enough. You don't have the right energy level, and so you don't go off and create, even though you've got it inside you to do it, and you've got the heart and the mission and the care and the love, and you want to do it. So it's all about changing your energy states. I think there's a misconception that people who are high achievers wake up and just feel energized and motivated and ready to go, right? Today, I did not wake up and say, yes, come on, let's go take on the day, I'm so excited, right? That's not how I woke up. Today I woke up, it was dark outside, it's snowing, as you can tell here, right? It's snowing. Look at what Nina's driving through. Stay safe, Nina. Both of our safety depends on it. She's driving through the snowstorm. It's dark outside, and I wake up, and the difference is I don't put my feet on the ground and get all jazzed up and start yelling about what a great day it's going to be. I wake up and I'm tired, and I'm like, why is it so dark outside? Why do we have this snowstorm? I'm thinking about the call I had yesterday with Brendan Burchard on Zoom, and he's showing me his tropical Puerto Rican beach backdrop, and I got Canadian snow happening here right now. The difference is the people who you admire, who have the success, who are the high achievers, they don't wake up like they're superhuman and extra motivated. They're just like you. The difference is they have the habits and the routines where they demand the energy from themselves. They create the energy for themselves. And so there's two things that I want you to start thinking about. How do you do it, right? Like, okay, great, Evan. How do I do it? How do I actually change my energy? How do I get it so that I am feeling powerful, bold, motivated, confident, excited on a daily basis? Because it is possible, and because you know how great you feel, and you know the results that you get when you're feeling that way. So, two things that I want you to keep in mind. The first one is having something in your morning routine that demands that from you. So for me, music is the fastest way to change my state. Music. I have a playlist called the Believe playlist. It's hashtag Believe, all caps, on my main channel. You can go find it. That's the music I listen to every day. That may not be the thing that gets you fired up, but it is for me. Music is the fastest way to change your state because there are some songs that when they come on, when you hear them, it just makes you want to move. You might get up and dance, you might just be nodding your head, you might be tapping your foot, but there are some songs when they come on that make you want to move. It can't just be the same song every day because then you're going to get sick of it and bored of it, but you make a playlist of the different music that when it comes on, it forces you to shift your state. We often put on the music for how we currently feel. So when you're sad and low and depressed or upset, you put on music that makes you feel reinforced in your sad and low and depressed and upset states. When you're sad and low, you don't put on music to make you feel better. You put on music to keep you where you are. That's the problem. That then what? It keeps you where you are, right? When you put on the music for how you currently feel, it keeps you where you are. Where what you want to do is use music to shift your state. So when you're feeling not so motivated, when you're feeling tired, when you're feeling low, you put on music that gets you up. And what's going to happen? You're going to feel a little bit more up. So putting that as a part of your daily routine. Daily routine. It matters. It makes a difference. If you started your day with music that would make you feel energized, pumped up, motivated, ready to go, if you started your day with that, your day will look different. Your days will look different. Your weeks will then look different. Your months will look different. And the things that you accomplish will look dramatically different. Okay? So that's a daily basis. I need you to shift your morning routine to incorporate something like that. Just try it. Try it for a week and see how you feel. It'll make a difference, I promise. Step number 2 is reacting to the moment. So that's what we do step number 1 is what we do on a daily basis in the morning. Step number 2 is when we have something that we come across that makes us feel less confident, that makes us feel scared, that is a big opportunity, that makes us question ourselves, doubt ourselves. When you look at your calendar, or you look at your emails, or you look at the results and you've seen that you're not where you want to be. The tendency is to beat ourselves up. The tendency is to play scared. The tendency is to act small. The tendency is to procrastinate and go do something else, right? You know, I've been there. You've been there. Maybe you are there right now. You know what I'm talking about. Energy is now the reason why we're staying where we are. So how do we shift our energy? In those moments, 1, remind yourself that you do difficult things. You do difficult things. That if it's hard, that if it's scary, that it's difficult, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to show up. You're going to do it because you do difficult things. It cuts the brain out of the equation because now it's time to show yourself what you can do instead of overthinking, over-procrastinating, and being overly scared.
And rule number 5, the last one before our very special bonus clip, enjoy the process.
Living a joyful life comes from enjoying the process of what you are doing. When you wake up every morning, do you look forward to the work that you're about to do today, or do you hate it, do you dread it, and want to stay in bed? If you are waking up and going to do work that is torture to you, that you don't enjoy, that you dread on a daily basis, you will never be joyful or successful. And I want to change that. So I was on a call yesterday with a buddy of mine who had built $1 million plus business, and he said, Evan, I don't know what to do. I'm unhappy, I'm depressed, I don't like my business, I've built this business that I hate going to, and I've always hated most of what I've done. I've had success, I've built $1 million plus business, but I've always hated the work. And I thought, you have to hate the work to get the results that you want. But I keep hearing you and all these other successful people saying you gotta love the process, you gotta love the work. So what do I do, man? I don't know what to do. Do I shut the whole thing down? Do I keep building? What do I do? I'm lost. I said, hey man, there's something that you love inside your business. What do you love doing? And it started off was, well, I like giving people strategy. I like doing the strategy part of my business, but I don't like the rest of it. Okay, great. So step one is you're gonna start doing all the strategy work in your business. Amazing. What else? Like, well, I also like selling. Okay, awesome. You're going to be the chief salesperson. You're going to be off selling and meeting people and having conversations. It's like, I don't like delivering. I don't like the operations. Awesome. That's why you've hired a COO to run your company. And then he said, I also like having conversations and mentoring people. Not everybody on my team likes to be mentored, but I love mentoring people. I love guiding them. So he's got 3 things that he loves doing, that he looks forward to, that he wishes he could do all day. And luckily, those are high value skills for his business. Right? He wants to be able to set the strategy and help his clients with strategy. He wants to be able to sell, and he wants to be able to mentor and guide the people on his team. He just doesn't want to deliver. So you either become a consultant, where this is all you do, or you hire somebody who he's already brought on, who's your COO, and give him more lateral, give him more abilities, give him more power, give him more permission. And at the same time, if he loves mentoring and training people, he loves people who will listen to him and be open to his guidance and wisdom, then he needs to have a team who respects him, who wants that. And not everybody will. You could have the greatest person who can write copy, or the greatest programmer, or the greatest whatever for your business. But if you love mentoring and they don't want to be mentored, that's not a good fit. So you need to do an assessment on your team and see who loves being mentored by you and keep those people. Because if you go into work every day and you see the people who you love being with, who you love mentoring, who you feel like you're a team with, you'll love going to work. But if you go to work every day and you see these people who don't want to listen to you, who don't want to be trained, who don't want to be mentored, just want to sit down and do their work, it's not going to be a joyful experience for you. And that lack of joy will mean you won't have success in your company as well. And so he's built up this machine that he hates, because he always thought you need to hate the work. Like, work is work, it sucks, but you get the results. Like, no, dude, it's the exact opposite. You've had success, you built $1 million plus business because you're talented, but it should have been a $10 million plus business by now. Where if you can apply the things that you love doing, that you are great at, that would make you joyful, where you come to work every day, it's like, I love this, I love setting strategy, I love doing sales, I love mentoring and guiding my team, and then my team that I've mentored and built up is taking care of all the operations. That's heaven for you. That's the best. That's what you need to work towards.
Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, it's time for the question of the day. I want to know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and you just get motivated, the sign says you have a 35% chance of actually following through. That's not good enough, Believe Nation. We got to take action. But when you get motivated and then you create a specific plan of action for when and how you're going to do it, your number jumps from 35% to 91% chance of following through. And when you commit to somebody else, like posting down here in the comments below, that number jumps to 95%. I want to know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Put it down in the comments below so you can follow through and I can celebrate you.
Self-love comes from doing difficult things. Self-love comes from doing things that you think are beyond your comfort zone, that you're not capable of doing, and just getting up and trying to do it. That's when you love yourself. When something is easy and you win, you actually don't feel that great about yourself. If you were to go and run a race against 3-year-olds and you won, great, yeah, you won. You might even post about it on Instagram, but you don't love yourself. You don't feel good about yourself because you played small, because it was easy, because you were expected to win, because it was inside your comfort zone. When you play inside your comfort zone always, you don't love yourself. It comes from doing difficult things. That's how you build respect. That's how you build credibility. It's how you build self-love for you. Forget about how other people respect or look at you. It's how you feel about yourself. That's the game. And that comes from doing difficult things. So if you ran a race against 3-year-olds and you won, great. Who cares? You don't feel great about yourself because you were expected to win. But if you ran a race against Usain Bolt and he ran backwards on one leg, he would still probably destroy you. But you should feel great about yourself because you did the thing when it was hard to do the thing. You might have lost to Usain Bolt, but you got in the race against him. That's how you build self-love. When you tie your self-respect, when you tie your self-worth, when you tie your self-love to the effort that you put in on a daily basis, that's when you start to win. When you tie your self-love to winning, to getting results, you lose. When you tie your self-love to how many likes you have on Instagram or views or subscribers on YouTube, you lose. It's about the effort. Are you putting in the effort every day? Because if you are proud of your effort on a daily basis, I promise you, you are going to crush it. But if you are only proud of yourself when you win, here's what's going to happen. You're only going to take on small things. You're going to play small your entire life. Because you're only going to take on projects that you have a pretty high chance of winning at. Because that's how you have love for yourself. And that's a losing game. Because you're capable of more. You're capable of doing a lot more stuff. You're capable of playing a bigger game. You're capable of having a bigger impact. You have to. It's your duty. It's your duty to love yourself. When you love yourself, you'll be able to spread that more and help other people. And so how do you love yourself? It comes from doing difficult things. It comes from when your heart's beating like crazy and you're scared and it's some big project and you say, I'm going to try.
And if you want to succeed, even against the impossible odds, check out the video next to me. I think you're going to enjoy it. Continue to believe. I will see you there.
If you quit on something too soon that you still love, you will regret it for the rest of your life. If you don't love it anymore, quit. Move on. You will never win doing work that you hate.